Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you are here. It's a drizzly morning, but as you know, in Humboldt County, often September is the best month, right, in terms of weather. So yesterday started out drizzly like this, and then yesterday afternoon was like, I couldn't wait to run outside. So let's just go with it's going to be the same today, right? So you get the points for coming to church, check. You stay in here when it's drizzly, check. And then you run outside and play this afternoon. So ha 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 ha. There you go. So welcome everyone to the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living. We're so glad that you're here with us. We really think this is a special sacred place. And so I hope you will find the love, the hope, the prosperity that so many of us have experienced here. So to kick us off today, we are going to start with the acknowledgement of the lands on which we gather. So let me find that page. All right. The Eureka Center for Spiritual Living acknowledges that the land on which we gather is the ancestral territory of the Wiyot peoples. This territory extends to the communities throughout most of Humboldt County, and we honor the Wiyot peoples. Ho. So I would like to invite you to turn off your cell phone if you brought one with you today, because we all do, you know, it's just our thing. And kind of just invite you to be here in this space. I'm sure everybody who texts you or sends you something will be waiting as soon as the service is over. I'd like to invite and say hello and good morning to everyone joining us on Zoom today. We're so glad you're here as well. I wanted to tell you about something that I did on Friday night. And when my husband and I moved to Humboldt County 2 years ago, our thing was we didn't want to be the people that we were before. And when I say that, it sounds kind of negative or strange, right? But what that meant was we didn't want to be the people who are constantly saying, ooh, that sounds fun, and then not going, right? We wanted to be the people who went like, ooh, that sounds like fun, and then went, right? And so on Friday night, we got to go see the debut of a new band called Harmonic Howl. And at one point, they actually invited us all to howl, which was great. I really enjoyed that. But the neat part about it is that they do a lot of stuff with three-part harmonies. Like, do you remember the movie from a while ago called Oh Brother Art Thou? Where there was all these songs that were just so resonant. And so they sang so many different artists. They had stuff from Stevie Nicks. They did one song by Norah Jones. They did a Bob Dylan song. They did what they described as all kinds of music, both country and Western. I learned that it's Tanya Tucker, not Tanya. And one of the neat things about it is that the band is led by this person named Ruby Ruth George, who is a force of nature, just like our Anna Hamilton. And so anyway, it was like, you know, everything they sang was just rock star. And one of the things I was not expecting from the experience, but I really adored, was the opportunity that they gave us to sing with them so many times, and how many times they taught us the chorus, right? And so it just made me think about what we do here, where we sing together, right? And how good that makes us feel. And one of the things that caused Ruby Ruth a lot of joy was, for some reason, the audience actually found the right key on Delta Dawn. And so she kept saying, oh, that was the highlight of the night for me. And I thought, wow, everything you sang was the highlight of the night for me. So anyway, with that, I'm going to turn things over to Donna to lead us in a song together.
I was waiting for the end of the story. Please stand and join me in singing. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for day, this beautiful, beautiful, this beautiful day, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends, thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends, my wonderful, wonderful friends, my wonderful, wonderful friends.
Yeah, so Dawn asked for the end of the story. I guess the end of the story would be that Harmonic Howl is playing this afternoon at the, I'm going to say this wrong, Madikit? Did I say it right? Madikit. Okay, Madikit Plaza. There's an event this afternoon, and they're going to play, I think, about 1. And then next weekend on Sunday, after church, and right before the Samba Parade, which, of course, all of us have to go to. You have to do this when you talk about the Samba Parade. Anyway, they're going to be playing at the main stage there with a full band. So, and that's a free event. So anyway, if you want to check them out, I encourage you to do that. So let me put on my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. All right. So we want to start with our opening affirmation. And today I invite you to turn to someone at the end of it and say, "Happy Sunday, lovely." All right. So we are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. Happy Sunday, Great job, you guys. Great job. So I don't have my clicker. So Martin, who is flying with one wing, is clicking us through the slides today. So anyway, it's kind of nice because I have fewer responsibilities, but I'm sorry that his are many. So you will see here on your weekly bingo board that Wednesday is your free space. Every other day, please join us. Come hang out with us or join us on Zoom. On Thursday nights, and this is an ongoing activity, at 5 p.m. on Zoom, we have a special opportunity called Welcome Wellness. And this is an opportunity to talk to a practitioner, get affirmative prayer. We're calling it Get Teletreatment. And it's via our Zoom link that is on our website. So you don't have to have a special link or anything like that. So this Friday, September 19, Lorna McLeod, her monthly class for the love of writing, is meeting from 2 to 3:30 in person. She is a wonderful writer and so kind. So even if you have no experience, if you're interested in writing, please join us. This Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon, we have a special offering, and that is all of our practitioners are going to be here in the morning, and they are offering a clinic. They're going to share about our philosophy, what treatment or affirmative prayer is, and just giving support and what is the healing power of working with a practitioner. So it's pretty exciting that all of them are going to be there, and I'm so glad that they're doing this event. Also on this Saturday, the men's group is meeting in the afternoon from 3 to 5. And later this month, on Friday, September 26th, our social club, Better Together, is meeting to go to a play called What the Constitution Means to Me. And I've heard this is funny, okay? It sounds like history. I'm sure there's some history in there, but it's also funny. So anyway, there's a sign up at the table, or there should be. There is a barren table over there. Okay, there will be a sign up on the table. Last week, at the end of our service, Lori shared some exciting news, and that is that she is writing a book. And she's writing a book. Oh, there it goes. I can't see through my glasses because they have transition lenses. Could you cut that, please? Thank you. This requires reading. Anyway, Laura shared some exciting news that she is writing a book about demonstrations. And demonstrations are things where, you use our spiritual principles and things come to you that you have really wanted. And so she's writing a book capturing these stories. And the kind of fun thing about them is she wants us to email them to her. And she's not going to put names in. She's going to put the city and the state of the person who's contributing the story. So anyway, she will be back next week, and we'll tell more about it. But I just wanted to plant the seed yet again, like she did last week, about this, because it's pretty exciting and new. And she's just tickled that she's doing this. Today, practitioners are available after service if you need support. Today, Susan, Scott, Edward, Michelle, and Reverend Angelica are all here with us. Our little pantry in the other room always needs feeding, more food for people in the community who are hungry and need help obtaining food. And now Reverend Angelica would like to come up and make a special announcement.
I have a couple of them, actually. A couple of announcements. One is that Scott is going to be collecting money for the tickets for the play. So those of you who have signed up, please pay him. And next Sunday will be the last time that you could pay him. So sometimes when we offer to pay for things and then get reimbursed, we don't get reimbursed. So make sure that you buy your ticket from Scott this time. Yes? How much? 16, because we have enough people. Yay! And they put everybody down as a senior, please don't look at me. Yep. I can't remember what my other one. Oh, I have the one. All right. So some of you know that Susan's sister Nancy has been ill, and she's been in the hospital, and she's now home. Yay! And I spoke to her yesterday, and she feels really good. She's not driving yet, but I am. It was so, I feel like a teenager. Oh my God, I get to use the car. You know? Anyway, but she has also decided that she is going to step down from our council. So I asked Corinne if she would like to participate in the council, and she said yes. So come up here, Corinne. So this is your new council member until February. Till our annual meeting. So thank you very much, Corinne.
All right, that's fantastic news. Congratulations, Corinne. And I'm so glad to hear that Nancy's home. That's great. Yeah. So this month's theme is finding sacred rest stops and really appreciating the sacredness of rest and slowing down, which in our culture is a hard thing to do often, right? So now I'm going to bring up Donna again, who's going to lead us in a song, We Are One.
I invite you to take a nice deep breath and release. It is clear to see how each day may be full of friends for me to learn from. I am one, I am beautiful, I am one, I am joy, I am one with the universe, I am love. And the world a discovery full of majesty to learn from. You are one, You are beautiful. You are one. You are joy. You are one with the universe. You are love. And the universe, such a fantasy full of mystery to learn from. We are one, we are beautiful. We are one, we are joy. We are one in the universe. We are love. We don't leave the podium until the second string comes up.
Yes, our philosophy can be summed up as insult whoever you can. Before I do our moment of peace, the thing today at the Matticat, incidentally, is a pro-democracy fair. It goes on from noon to 4. The band is playing it. A pro-democracy fair today at the Matticat from noon to 4. So just wanted to clarify that. And regarding the tickets, because I have connections, I put everybody down as a senior. We reserved a whole block of, I think we have 16 tickets. And 4 are in the back, because some people like to sit in the back. The others are about midsection. She wasn't looking. I could put it back down again. And the normal price for a senior is $18, and there's normally a $1.50 surcharge that we have to pay the company who handles our tickets, and I waive that. So you'll get in for $16. My only request is cash, check, or Venmo, and if at all possible, exact change, because I don't want to keep track of all of that kind of stuff. So please do what you can to help me out. And if it's not paid by the 26th, I'm going to remove tickets because, as Angelica commented, there have been many times that we fronted for it and then people go, I changed my mind, and you're stuck with 4 tickets you can't use. So that out of the way, let's move forward to our moment of peace. Some of us who wear hearing aids will relate to this. I write, instead of writing a lot of the things I want to write, I will dictate them. So the moment of peace today is actually, and I'll tell you what Siri thought I said, but the moment of peace is from a book called The Care of the Soul, 25th Anniversary Edition, a guide for cultivating depth and sacredness in everyday life by Thomas More. And when I quoted it, when I read it to Siri, what it wrote was Care of the Soul, 25th Anniversary Edition, a guide for cultivating death and sickness in everyday life. Which I think is the exact opposite of what this is about. So in light of finding our spiritual rest stop, I've come up with 2 paragraphs that he has a lot of profound wisdom, and I'm going to read them to you. We'll have a moment of silence. Jackson will play us out, and then we'll end with a treatment. So from Thomas More, Cultivating Depth and Sacredness. Spirit directs your attention to the cosmos and the planet, to huge ideas and vast adventures, to prayer and meditation and other spiritual practices, to a worldview and philosophy of life. Spirit expands your heart and mind, gives you vision and courage, and eventually leaves you with a strong sense of meaning and purpose. Soul is more intimate, deep, and concrete. You care for your soul by keeping up your house, learning how to cook, playing sports or games, being around children, getting to know and love the region where you live. Soul allows you to become attached to the world, which is kind of love. When the soul stirs, you feel things, both love and anger, and you have strong desire and even fears. You live life fully instead of skirting it with intellectualism or excessive moralistic worries.
be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now.
Here's what I know, here's what I understand, and here's what I am grateful for. That spirit, ever expansive and growing, lives everywhere at all times, spreading love and commonality and community to absolutely everybody. While within me there is a soul that I can retreat and go small and be just who I am with the people that I want and the people that matter to me and the thoughts that are important to me. And when I use those thoughts and I'm around those people and I feel that love, my soul expands into my spirit and helps create a greater world for all of us, which then, of course, enhances and nourishes my soul. And in today's world, where it can be so frightening and scary, and where we stand for love and we stand for peace, it's good to know that if we go inward, we are safe, and if we expand outward, we are covered. And for that, I am very grateful, and I release these words into the law of mind, knowing that they're already happening, and all I have to do is open my arms and accept them and be appreciative of what comes to me. And I close this by saying, and so it is.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now.
Thank you, Jackson. And I have to say, I don't think you could have chosen a better song.
Thank you.
Those lyrics, wonderful. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce Reverend Angelica. Or as she is also known, the first string.
The what?
I was introduced as second string, your first string.
That's funny. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Zoomers. So we've been on a spiritual journey so far this year. We're now in month 9. How's that possible? It doesn't seem like it should be only 3 more or 4 more months or whatever it is until Christmas, right? I heard that this morning that Scott has auditioned for the part of Scrooge in a play, and so did a lot of other people. So let's just all know for him that he gets it, and that is going to be a wonderful Better Together for December for us. Going to. Well, it would be an interesting part to play. So today, last week we did a rest stop for the body, and today we're doing a rest stop for the mind. And what I'm sort of calling it how to quell the inner chatter. So my question for you is, have you ever noticed that when your body is still, your mind just keeps going on? I mean, Scott finished that reading and then goes into a minute of silence, and my mind is going, and this is what you're going to say. And it's like, stop it already, you know? And it replays conversations, it rehearses what's supposed to happen tomorrow, it cycles through worries, it does all these things, and it's going, and it's going, and it's going, and it's going, and it never stops. It just keeps going. So, just like we need rest stops when we're on a long trip, places that we can stretch, refresh ourselves, find more joy, etc., our minds also need rest stops. And one of the things I thought about as I was thinking about this idea is that I've looked at the chatter, the constant chatter, as something that bothers me. And then I realized, wait a minute, I can move into this idea of rest stops, and they can be joyful experiences. And so what I realize is that rest stops for the mind are basically about giving ourselves permission to breathe, to pause, and to remember the presence of spirit. So you might be thinking, well, yeah, that's all well and good, but what about what's happening in the world today? Has anybody here not felt really anxious or fearful about all the stuff that keeps happening? Day after day after day after day since January. And yet when I think about this idea, this noise that's happening, political fear, news that's really unsettling, etc., what I realize is that we have a choice to either let the chatter run the show or to stop along the way and allow our minds to rest. And there's lots of different ways you could do it, but I want to share with you, I just love it when I have an idea, and I wrote about it in my Friday message, and then Dr. Carol Carnes, who's a minister who's been around for a really long time, she now speaks 2 times a month down south someplace. I can't remember right now. Oh, Carlsbad, that's where it is. But anyway, she writes a newsletter, and this is what she sent. This is a time to trust that higher intelligence is present in our collective consciousness. The one thing we want to be aware of is how we affect the whole. Are we contributing to the chaos with our conversations and our thoughts? Can we do the hard work of monitoring our mind? Is it normal to react with anger and condemnation of those who are perpetuating the world's problems? Or it is normal, but does it really do any good? When we consider that everything begins in mind, that ideas always precede forms, that attention to ideas energizes the creative process, then we'll take steps to seed the collective with healthy ideas of peace, justice, love, intelligence, and a high vision for our shared life. It may seem as if we are mere observers of the passing scene, but we are far more than that. We are co-creators of it, and it's true whether we believe it or not. Electricity doesn't require our belief in it to function, but we must use it properly. The same is true of consciousness. It always comes first. Don't give up on humanity. We are better than anything we've created so far. This article brought a few things to mind. One is, Dr. Holmes wrote in The Science of Mind, peace is brought about by a conscious control of thought, an understanding that we are one with the divine presence. When we're allowing ourselves to, or our minds, to chatter back at the news, etc., we're forgetting that one divine presence. We're allowing ourselves to fall into the pit, so to speak, that brings us into a place of fear, a place of resentment, a place of anger and hostility. I've had the most interesting conversations with people where we start out really calmly and then we're both yelling. How could they? Why did they? Blah, 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 right? And that's not a peaceful place. That's getting my body all tied up in knots, because why? Why isn't a very good question anyway. So we don't want to fight the chatter, but we want to lovingly guide it back to center. So here's a question for you. She says in this article that she writes, and Dr. Holmes said in this quote, that we are one with the divine presence. So I want you to think about that for a moment. What does that mean to you? What does being one with the divine presence mean to you? Does it still have any of the flavor of it being outside of you, like the old God? Being raised Catholic as a little girl, God to me was something that was constantly watching me. And it wasn't watching me with love. It was watching to see where I sinned, right? And when you're a kid, what does that mean, sinning? You know, besides telling lies. I was real good at that. What I know is that many of us, because of our religious backgrounds, we have a God that is judgmental, a God that is punishing, a God that is, or it's ignoring us altogether. And is any of that bleeding into this idea of the divine principle? That's something we constantly have to look at. I mean, you know, because of the Christian nationalists, you were constantly seen on Facebook and in newsletters and things that we might read or see on TV that God is really a terrible God. It's not a loving God at all. And what I know is that God is energy. It's just energy. We call it divine principle, or I call it divine energy, right? It's the energy that makes up everything, absolutely everything, the source and substance of absolutely everything that there is, whether it's people, whether it's inanimate objects or anything. This is just, we're living in an energy field. And we're creating this field with our minds. So what I'm saying to us is that we're fortunate that we have this teaching, because we don't have to buy into that horrible God that's out to get everybody. We don't have to buy into any of the hate or the revenge or anything that's going on. We can stand in love. We can make our God be a God of love. And so you have to ask yourself, well, what does that mean? To have a God of love. You know, I was thinking about how we can, some exercises that we could do to give our minds a little break from all of the chatter. And when I was thinking about this, whatever we believe about God is what we get to experience, I thought, well, how do we do this? And so I figured out two ideas for us. One is breath awareness. You know, all spiritual traditions teach something about the breath, in particular the more Eastern ones. And so I thought, so what if we named these breaths? And so an inner breath would be renewal, and an exhale is release. And so I thought about, okay, so I'm letting my mind get all tied up in knots because of what's going on, right? Stop and just allow myself to breathe. Breathe in renewal and breathe out release. And for a moment, my mind is still. Then it'll start thinking about breathing in and breathing out. So even one little moment of conscious breathing is a rest stop. The other thing I thought about was taking sacred pauses. And for me, sacred pauses is like stopping and having a cup of tea. Or it's going outside and listening to the birds. There's a crow that lives in the redwoods somewhere around me. I mean, I hear it. I have lots of redwoods around me. And so I hear it over there, and then I hear it over here, and I hear it over there. And so I started going, and it responds. And so every time I go out, I hear if it sees me. And so I respond. Now, to me, that is a spiritual rest stop. I'm getting out of the tangle of things that are going on in the world and being present, fully present in that moment. Listening to the birds sing could be one. For me, again, being out in my yard, all of my sacred pauses are outside. So being in my yard and looking at the roses. Now, I haven't been able to trim my roses because of my arm. There's one of my bushes that must have over 100 buds on it. I'm not buds, but seed pods, after the rose dies. And I was thinking, wow, I could make tea, rosehip tea. Jam. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I'll have to look that up. Yeah, that'll be interesting. But, being able to see things. And one of the things I'm loving right now is that, well, I have a front yard that is small, but it goes like this. It's wide and then it narrows. So all along this side is rose bushes of many colors. And on this side is Kahili ginger. Michelle and Doug gave me 4 Kahili ginger stalks when I first got into this house and I wanted to plant something. And now they're all the way down the side of my landlord's garage. And I was bummed out the other day because they always bloom in August. And this is mid-September. And finally, yesterday, it seemed like overnight, not the blooms yet, but the stalk that has all the little buds that's going to burst into blooms was open. I mean, we're there. It's like, yes, so that for me was a sacred rest stop. And I don't know what you would use as a sacred rest stop, but allow yourself to start doing it more. So for me, spiritual rest stops are meant to be joy-filled. So it could be, for me, for instance, I sat down to watch TV last night and Sandy jumped on my lap. Sandy is a great, big, heavy, beautiful kitty. And she jumped on my lap. And that was a sacred rest stop. So what I'm going to say to you is that this week, whenever fear or this inner chatter rises, pause and try this. Tell your mind, thank you for trying to help. And then guide it into peace. Do something that brings you joy. Do something that is a sacred pause that reminds you that all there is this divine energy and that we're creating it and how we interact with it every single moment of our lives. And it responds. I told you a long time ago, the only word the universe knows is yes. It's never going to tell you no. You're going to say, oh, I don't feel good. Yes, my darling. Oh, I'm so poor. Yes, my darling. Oh, I'm ready to go on a new trip. Yes, my darling. I mean, it's yes. That's the answer. So the questions we want to be giving it are ones that are positive questions, positive situations. And remember that rest stops are part of the joy of traveling. We allow ourselves to pause, to let our mind rest, to let fear dissolve, and to let spirit's peace rise within us. So take a breath. And let's go into treatment. So I recognize there is only one life. That life is divine life. That life is infinitely intelligent and unconditionally loving. And this life is the life that each one of us is living. And because we know this teaching, because we're learning it day by day, whether we've been in it a million years or not, we're still learning it. We can allow ourselves to open up to these sacred rest stops, allowing our minds to be still, allowing our bodies to be renewed, allowing ourselves to be part of the growing group of people who are declaring that all that is happening, that we're hearing about us on the news, is not who we are. We are greater than this. And so we allow ourselves to remember that it is done unto us as we believe. And whatever we need to do to change our beliefs about current situations, we allow ourselves to do it. We let go of fear. We let go. And we breathe into love. That love that makes all things look crystal clear. And we begin to see more and more of the people that are doing good in the world. Like, I forget what the guy's name is, but his mother said, look for the helpers. Look for the helpers. Mr. Rogers, yes, thank you. As his mother said, let's look for the helpers. Let's pay attention to the good in the world. Let's allow ourselves to focus on these sacred rest stops for our mind and know the truth. Regardless of what it looks like out there, something amazing is happening for each and every one of us. And so we breathe into it and we allow it to be our truth. That something amazing might be a healing, well, will be a healing of the collective consciousness and of our bodies and of our emotions and our thinking. Something amazing is happening, and it's good, and we remember this, regardless of appearances. And so we let go and we let the divine principle work its magic in, as, and through us every single moment of our lives. And we start noticing it. We start noticing it. And it is good. And so it is. I just remembered something the other day when I was really working on my own self. You know, I'm learning just like you are constantly. And I was really working on my own self to move into this place of peace. And I had walked down to the mailbox, and I'm coming back from the mailbox, and I turn around, and there's a mother and a father deer, a deer and a doe, and 3 little ones following me down the street. They weren't following me, though. They were heading for my across the street neighbor's pear tree. And I'm watching these little ones. They can't reach up far enough like their parents can. And I remembered that I had pears sitting in my fruit basket in the house. So I ran into the house and got my pears and rolled them to them. And there was one that didn't even care that I was a human. You know, it might be scary. It came up to me and took the pear, one of the pears, and also got the ones on the ground so that its brothers and sisters, whatever they were, couldn't have them either. But, and so I'm marveling at that wonderful experience that I had had with nature. You know, those are, for for me, like these wonderful sacred rest stops. And I go out into my front yard, and because Apollo, who had disappeared for a couple of days, is back, and now he's decided the front yard is his. Curly, my other cat, can't be there, so Curly's taken over the backyard. But I go outside to see where Apollo is, and a hummingbird comes down, and it's like right here. And the colors of its wings are flashing in the sun, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I must be really having sacred energy right now. That was amazing, just amazing. So right now we have something else amazing. Our wonderful Anna Hamilton is going to. Thank you.
Yeah, one with nature until it eats your roses.
They haven't done that yet.
Oh, give them time.
Hey, I've lived there 11 years. They haven't done it yet.
Oh my God, you're so lucky. Excuse my butt. Hey, I gotta put this on first. Okay. The vicissitudes. That'd be a new name for my band.
What?
The vicissitudes.
Vicissitudes.
Oh, hey, the speculations. No, that's not it. The Situation's playing just a couple more times this month, and I left some flyers out there for you. And on our bulletin board by the door, if you have a local event or something you're doing, the bulletin board by the door is for that purpose. So my little thing is there. There's an original song, all right. Hey, I'm shorter than that, Marvin. I'm looking. Never mind. Sparrow sings without an error. Nothing falls to bring him down. You and I would sing together. Then we must travel to a higher ground and leave behind all you would have taken. Leave behind all your paper and pen. Leave behind all you would have shaken from a world of selfish men. I'm not the one to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. You and I were made for each other. You were meant for me, I belong to you. But how can we ever be brought together with hearts and faces always turned away? Never looking, oh, you're never hoping. How do you think you'll ever find love that way? And sparrow sings without an error. Nothing falls to bring him down. You and I would sing together. We must travel to a higher ground and leave behind all you would have taken. Leave behind all your paper and pen. Leave behind all you would have shaken from a world of selfish men. From a world of selfish man from our world of selfish humans. Rock and roll will never die.
Thank you so much, Anna. Woo. Yeah. So now it's time for the collection of our offering. So if you'll join me, I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses the sender, all in it and beyond. And so it is. Thank you, band.
I learned that when I was 10.
Nice. Nice. All right. So I gratefully accept these gifts on behalf of our center, knowing that they are given with love and with the hope that they will continue to improve our community as we expand and continue to grow. And so it is. Thank you so much. So I'm wondering if there's anyone who would like to share a demonstration with us today. Yay, here comes Lorna. So a demonstration can be something, unexpected, like a rebate check in the mail that you didn't think was going to happen, or something really big that has finally come to fruition. So Lorna?
This is something really big that has finally come to fruition. Thank you for the words, Tiffany. I have a client that I have worked with for a number of years, pro bono. We have just been funded for me to be paid to do the work. And it's going to continue some work. Because of confidentiality, I can't say what it is. But it's going to continue some really magnificent work for our communities.
So in order to tell you mine, I have to give you a little bit of background. You all know that I have a record company and publishing companies and stuff. So in the record business, when you have a publishing company, there are 3 organizations which you can join here: RScP, BMI, and CSAC. So I have a company in RScP and I have one in BMI. One of the artists I just signed recently got to make a deal with a major label. and it included publishing. And they asked me if I would take a haircut and get a lot less money. I said, okay, I'll because I actually still own everything. So I did, and then what happened was, in doing all this, they wanted to see the contract that I signed with my artist, granting them the rights to do this. Before this, they kept saying things like, well, let's leave Wilkins out. We're not going to put his stuff in there, and we'll just put our names on it. And then once they saw the contract, and I had treated for this, by the way, they said, oh, they sent me an email and said, we would like to put your company as a publishing company in the ASCAPs and BMIs all over the world. Now, in order to do this is something I was thinking about and that I treated on, because usually when someone wants to do this, they take a big percentage and they usually won't put the name of your company in. So for taking a haircut and doing a treatment, I ended up with my name being all over the world, the name of my publishing company, registered in the ASCAPs and BMIs all over the world.
Hey, oh, that's fabulous. Thanks so much for sharing, both of you. Is there someone who would like to read our statement of inclusion? Great, thank you, Donna.
You can't see the shiny part of my shoes. You're welcome. We, the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living, are a community that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusion, champions inner work, and creates space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are a community that honors the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocates with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are a community that blesses each other, sees sacredness in all life, remain learners and listeners so we may grow together, and understands that oneness is not sameness. We know together, we know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well. I hope. If you would please stand and join hands in a circle, we will sing the peace song. I think we're there.
Yes, there is peace on earth